enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks. You met a lot of people. All right, that sounds good. That's the whole point of this tonight. My name is Tony Pierre. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Myself, Jean-Paul, my business partner, and Robinson Polima is in the back. We put this event together because we wanted to see all your beautiful faces here tonight. You know, hey, the Haitian American community in New York is big. Unfortunately, I never meet another realtor that's Haitian or a mortgage broker that's Haitian. It's really rare. I go to a lot of networking events and I don't meet a lot of my people. So this event was to get us in the same room, get to know each other, and collaborate in the future. So we are all licensed real estate professionals with over a decade of experience practicing in New York State. We have represented an array of clientele throughout the years of practice selling, listing residential or the commercial level. We all possess individual skills that will not only serve as a resource to better serve the Haitian community, but also significantly by reducing their fears and breaking the language barrier, which is the case for most of our clients. I mean, there's a lot of Haitians that I know of that want to buy something, and sometimes they want to express themselves, and they can't do it because the realtor helping them doesn't speak their language, or the mortgage broker doesn't speak their language. So this is why we all need to collaborate. And, our motto is l'union fait la force. So why are we not sticking with each other? You know what I mean? Let's work together. So, thank you. So what is the purpose of this event? Like I said, the purpose of initiating this gathering is to build a community of licensed professionals who are involved in the home buying, selling process, at the same time who are of Haitian descent. Now, if you're not of Haitian descent and you want to support the Haitian community, you are welcome. From our experience over the years, we had a difficult time locating or accessing such professionals at the time of need. So this mixture is to bring awareness and filling that void by gathering and eventually creating an association depicting such group. So today, I welcome you all to the first meeting. Give yourself a round of applause. All right, so as I mentioned, the goal is to get all you guys in the room, but we don't want to do it every week or every month. It will get boring, so 4 times a year, once a quarter, we will all meet up, talk, come up with solutions to help the Haitian community become homeowners in the United States. So, again, over the years, we looked around at the closing tables. We felt that our people were underrepresented. The deals went to every other ethnicity except for Haitians. When we saw other comrades at events, it was a joy to see that there are a few out there, but limited in number. Is it because we did not infiltrate those fields, or we simply do not have an organization that emphasizes that? As a result, we saw the need to build on that deficit and decided that this was not only important, but a pure necessity to better serve the underrepresented fellow Haitians. The sole objective of these quarterly meetings is to come together with fellow professionals who are part of the real estate selling, buying, investing process and take that information to our people in the community. As a result, we have created a team that will now be accessible when we are in need. To simply put it, let's keep it in the family. As a community, we must gather and come together. Just like every other ethnicity, we have the skill set, the knowledge, and the experience, and most importantly, we share the language that is a big factor for most of our clients. We will use this platform as means of networking with like-minded professionals who know, understand, service, and support home ownership in our growing Haitian community in New York City. For the majority, Home ownership is the epitome of attaining the American dream, the cornerstone of wealth creation and a stabilization force for the working families. Our role is to be trusted advisors and advocates who will enable a greater percentage of Haitian families achieve that dream that seems unattainable by most. We want to become the army that empowers them for generations to come, and in turn will break cycles of financial instability. We want to become the community that reflects entrepreneurial spirit, cultural heritage, and the advocacy for their members. Our mission is to promote sustainable home ownership opportunities in our communities. So how do we do this? We plan on accomplishing our mission by educating and empowering the real estate professionals who serve the Haitian home buyer and seller. We want to advocate for public policies that support the trade association mission. And also, we want to facilitate relations among industry stakeholders, real estate practitioners, and other hosting industry professionals. So guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys are part of history. And I'm going to give the mic to Jean-Paul. Thank you.
Well, without further ado, the panel. I'm going to give you guys the wireless mic. I'm going to get the old school wired one, okay? All right, you go.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I gotta set that up. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys definitely want to hear from the panel today, and that's why we're here. We want to learn about what they do, their profession, how they serve the community, and how they serve their clients. So I have a list of questions for you guys. I'm gonna grill you. First of all, guys, please talk about yourself and present yourself to everybody here.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Gage Nestor. I'm an accountant. I have a practice in Long Island. I serve mainly Haitian community, all Brooklyn, Long Island, Queens, everywhere in New York and other states, and mainly Haitians, Miami, Jersey, Pennsylvania, yep, all over. I know where all those Haitians are hiding. Even Minnesota, there's one in Indiana. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh yeah, Washington, yes. Couple of clients. So I deal with a lot of high net worth individuals. I deal with real estate and regular, hardworking families. So that's what I do. I've been doing it for about 17 years now. Yeah, that's basically it. All right.
Good afternoon, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sabine Sabine to the Haitian community. I am a real estate attorney. I've been practicing for about 7 years in real estate and also business transactions. Gage is actually my suite mate, so we share the same suite in Hempstead is where our office is. And so I help, buyers, sellers, those who are looking to invest to buy real estate. I represent them from contract to closing in the real estate process. And basically, when it comes to the Haitian community, I would say maybe, a quarter of my practice, I represent Haitian families, individuals. And what I find that they like most about working with someone is that they feel like that cultural barrier is brought down. They know that someone knows them, understands their point of view, and then they never want to let you go. So now you're family, which is wonderful. It's really wonderful. So I enjoy being able to provide that comfort level to them.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ralph Augustin. I work with Contour Mortgage for the past 3 years. I've been in the business for 16 years now. I would say 70% of my clientele for my business is Haitians. And that's pretty much it. I help them. Like Sabine said, once you help somebody else, they send you the referrals. They're very good with that. Once they're very grateful. when you help them, and they keep the referral business going, and that's just the reward part of it. So that's pretty much it.
Yes, and to add something, well, as you guys probably know, I'm Haitian too. Jean-Paul, you can get more Haitian than that. So, whenever I start talking to someone and then, they want to express themselves, they're like, "Are you sure, yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then now they start really saying how they feel, and, the communication gets a lot easier.
Oh, I do it better. When they come to my office, I just put in a little bit, some little compa. And they're like, oh, their feelings just change. They just change. It's like, oh, wow. Now they feel a little comfortable. It's all about that little comfort level you give them.
Yep, which brings me to the next question. So, how did you guys start the business? What brought you into the business? And, how did you start in what you're doing right now?
All right, so I've been accounting I've worked for many companies for about like 17 years. I've been working for companies, yeah. And I dealt with a lot of high net worth individuals, but I always used to do taxes on the sides, also helping friends out. And then there's where the referrals started coming. And then it just started growing, and then I started working, and then at last, my last job, I was doing a lot, and then I got let go. And then once then, my friends told me, listen, you got to do it on your own. So that's how I started. And then it's faith, God, faith, and then everything worked out. So far it's working out. So it's just building and building and building and just believing in yourself. That's what happened.
So prior to going to law school, I worked in the mortgage industry. So I worked for a mortgage company called New York Mortgage for like 3 years, right after high school, while I was going through college. I worked for several other smaller mortgage companies, and I worked for a mortgage bank. And at the time, I was in my early 20s, and I kind of wasn't sure about the whole real estate field. So I worked for a venture finance company after that, and was like, okay, this is not what it is for me. And I always kind of, being a Caribbean, being Haitian, your parents always want you to be a nurse, a doctor, or a lawyer, right? So I was like, okay, which one am I going to pick? So I kind of always had it, in the back of my head. All right, fine. I gave in. I went to law school. And so when I came out, because I had the interest in real estate, I decided to, kind of gear towards that. And I'll go at it on my own. And then I just started to build from there, taking on clients one at a time. And actually, Gage, I was introduced to Gage to do my taxes, because I had a business. So then when I met with Gage, he's like, oh, there's office space available here. And so I moved from my home office to an actual office. And then from there, it kind of just continued to take off and build. And 7 years later, still here, still growing, still, pounding the pavement, trying to build a business, and hoping to continue that.
My story is a lot simpler than that. When I was in college, I worked part-time at a bar in Great Neck, and there I met a gentleman, and we became friends. And he told me one day, listen, I do have a lot of Haitian clients. You speak Creole, obviously you're very outgoing, you talk to people a lot. Why don't you come work for me? I had no idea what I was doing. Next week I started, and I got in the office. He introduced me to everybody, he talked to some people, and he handed me a phone. I remember that, a desk phone and a phone book. And he's like, you know what, these are your zip codes, and you're gonna call out the zip code. And when I started calling these people, everybody lived in Canarsie, and they were all Haitian based, obviously. And that's pretty much how I started. 16 years ago, been through all the up and down of the business, and I love it. That's pretty much it.
Yep, everybody has an interesting story. Everybody has their own story, so which is very good, which is why everybody's here today. And next question. Well, you guys already talked about it, but this is going to be a very more specific question. So, what have been your experience servicing the Haitian community?
My experience it's always about education. It's about sometimes the lack of stuff that they know, one of the things that I always talk to people in my field, especially in my field, I always tend to notice they always ask friends. They never ask a professional, like just like you guys. They don't ask a professional. They come to me and say, "Oh, my friend told me I could get this deduction and stuff like that." So I just tell them, listen, when you have a pain in your stomach, do you ask your friend or you go to the doctor? But they never want to go ask a professional, and then that's what gets them in trouble. And this is what's been going on actually in our community. Everybody's asking somebody instead of we have to let that go. We have to let that go and ask a professional instead of asking a friend. This happens so many times, and that's what kills people. Oh, but this person told me that. And I look, I'm like, okay, like, why don't you ask somebody? You know, or they want to Google or YouTube it. It's like, they don't tell you everything. So that's the hard part about it, is that people, and, you know, we were kind of a little stubborn. So we got to just get out of that stubbornness and just let ourselves go, know that we make mistakes. See, I'm admitting, I make mistakes. See, if everybody could do that, everybody could be a better person, and then just know, like, get knowledge. Like me, I'm an accountant. I'm learning so many stuff from you guys. Like learning a little thing. I'm like, oh really? Wow. And that's how you know. That's gonna make me better. I don't know everything. Didn't I just ask somebody about originator? I was just asking somebody, what is this? So that's how you learn. And I think that's the thing that we need to do, is help educate these people. Do more seminars. Like try to get. I think that's the hard part, is them not having that lack of knowledge, not knowing what to do, or think they know what to do, instead of asking. If you ask, it'll be so much better. Just so much better.
So I agree with that, and I think the other thing that our community struggles with a lot is, you know, having a certain comfort level. They kind of don't really trust anyone, and that's another reason why they ask people who they know. So it's that, you know, not being able to trust, not being able to understand, because, like, you know, we're here in America, everything is translated into Spanish, but, you know, our community has to kind of figure it out, you know what I mean? And then also with the sense of pride, there's a lot of sense of pride, so they don't like to say they don't know something or they don't understand something, so they'll tend to kind of like, oh yeah, you know, like sort of like, assume what it is or try to figure it out. So it's really just kind of breaking through that that barrier to make sure they're actually understanding things and to give them a certain comfort level when dealing with us. Because I think I've noticed when I explain things to people and I kind of break it down, or I let them know that, listen, you can ask whatever you want. You know, I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. That's when they sort of get comfortable, because they feel like they don't even know how much information they're allowed to get from me, type of thing. So it's that, you know, being afraid to show their vulnerability and say, you know, I need more information. I need to understand better.
Well, to Gage's point, I pretty much encountered that a lot, where somebody will come to me and say, Ralph, listen, my friend just got a 5% interest rate or 4%. Yeah, but your friend doesn't have the same credit that you have. So I think education it's a major thing. Education is a major thing. We have to guide this, you know, these are, you know, our mothers or sisters or family members technically. We have to guide them and you know, educate them and explain to them how to get themselves ready, you know, for a purchase process, as opposed to asking friends. Ask professionals. You know, he couldn't say it better. So that's pretty much it.
Yep, and to piggyback on what you guys said, yeah, asking the professional is extremely important, because we know Haitian, whenever you're sick, they tell you go drink some tea, you're good. But it's very important to do the education and make sure that they understand, they have all the information available, and also make them trust you. So that's extremely important. And also, so since you guys have been dealing with Haitians a lot, so what are some issues you've been dealing with? So I know you guys already technically talked about it, but very more specific issues that you've seen that they've been having.
It's the trust issue. It's really the trust issue. They have to, I try to, you know, sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone to get them into their, you know, so they could be a little bit comfortable, because Like I told you, I work with a lot of people from different areas, and one of the bad areas is, a lot of you might know, Miami. So there's a lot of those accountants in Miami and down south, and like there's some in Brooklyn too. But you know, they encounter these people, and then you hear these things that happen to them, and they trust these people, and now to come to you. And the funny thing is like when you're doing the right thing for them, they don't trust you. You like a refund. Like they're getting a little bit of a refund. They like, oh my God, the other guy didn't give it to. They think you're doing something wrong. So that's hard. That's the part that's really, really hard. Is like getting them to trust you and tell them like this is the right thing. This is what's going on. This is right. And a lot of things are like an exemption. They put like married for on their stuff. They're living on a bad check, and now their kids are grown. Now they owe all this money. They're wondering why. They don't trust you. You know, so it's that trust issue. Like I think that's so hard, and that's the part where you gotta. I don't know. It's still difficult. That's the most difficult area.
Yeah, I would say, you know, also, and you touched on it, them getting taken advantage from somebody else, and then being burned by that, and then not, again, trusting the professional that they're dealing with. And that's it. It's the trust, it's the education, it's the having bad experiences with other people. And so a lot of times they'll get taken advantage of and either lose everything and not want to try again, or they'll get taken advantage of and then not want to, you know, trust you or get the help that they need because of that. And they're just in the dark. So it's really all those things.
Okay. Well, I agree with them. Trust issue is a big thing. But also on a more technical, I guess, aspect of it, I feel like, again, with education, there's a lot they don't know as far as funds. I mean, if I literally just had a guy 3 days prior to signing contract, this guy's moving money from his wife's account because he feels like, you know, she doesn't want her to spend the money, but he's moving cash. And it's education. And, you know, I feel like if they, you know, what we're doing now, if we, I mean, I go to churches sometime, you know, hold some sort of seminar, you know, have a little bit of meeting with them, you know, even if it's 4 or 5 people that wants to buy eventually, like maybe in 2-3 years, it doesn't have to be, you know, next month, they will know, listen, you know what, $25 a month on a credit card, on a $200 credit card, that's going to hurt you from getting a higher interest rate, and that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So I feel like a little bit of education, telling them what to do, guide them a little bit, that's going to go a long way.
Yep, so like more education, and then of course, be patient, and so that they could trust you. Because at the end of the day, it's really about the patience. And we all deal with a lot of those clients. It's really, a lot of times they've been burned. So it's really about walking them through the process, you know, the healing process. So I don't know if you guys know that. Well, for me, this is my personal experience. Before I studied real estate, I did not know I was going to be a psychologist. But technically, that's what you are. It's for all of us. It's the same thing. Because you really have to manage the expectations and really be patient, and, you know, so you could get everything done the right way. And next question. Oh, a very important question. So, of course, with the guys you guys have been doing, you've helped a lot of people. So we just want to know, like, specific situation where you've helped and supported the Haitian community in realizing the American dream. So just a quick example.
Wow.
Which one?
The only thing I could think about is, wow, this is hard. I have one example, but I can't use it now. But I can. No, I can't use it. The one person I could think of is one of the
you
things.
don't have to give names.
No, I'm not gonna give it names. But one thing I could say is somebody who opened a business, yeah, they opened a business, and they came to do the taxes and stuff like that, and they were thinking, oh, I want to open a business, I want to start doing this full time, and then the first thing because I heard there's always some tax breaks and stuff like that with this, and I told them, okay, so the first thing I always ask is that, yeah, you could, but then the first thing I always ask, do you want to buy a house? When you planning to buy a house? That's the first thing I ask, because they're thinking of now. They're not thinking of later on and stuff like that. So I said, when you want to buy a house? And they said, oh, maybe in 2 years, 3 years. I said, okay, that's all I needed to know. So then I told them, you got to pay taxes. There's no way around it. You got to pay. They go, oh, but that's a lot. I'm like, well, this is how it works. This is the American way. This is not forget it. There's the dream and there's the way. So this is the way. So I told them, listen, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this plan. You gotta pay this tax, and then it builds your credit and it builds your numbers. Yeah, income. So now, when it was time for them to buy the house, it was an easy process, because first I had all their books and records, so I just gave it to them, just sign off some names. They went to the loan person, they got everything, their credit was good, and they were able to get the house because everything was the way they're supposed to, and they paid the tax. And then, now they don't pay tax. They got what they wanted. Now, things are a little bit better for them. They're a little bit happier. So now they really live in the American dream.
So I have a story of a client who she's a Haitian American. She she was born in Haiti, but came here. She actually was going to school for nursing, or she was getting ready to go to school for nursing. So she had entered into a nursing program, but then she decided she wasn't ready to do it. And so she had started paying this school some money. And, there's, again, with the education and not really understanding the American system and what schools are good and what schools are not. So she started paying this school. She paid this school like over $8,000. But then she decided she didn't want to go. But she had taken no services from them, right? So she's like, they're not giving me back my money. And they put like a default on her credit because she stopped paying them. And so I had to fight with the company to get her money back and help her to repair her credit. And then after that, she was able to use her money with her new to-be spouse to be able to purchase a home. So that was, a process. And just because she didn't know, when she was kind of like new to the country, her family did not really kind of understand the process. So, something that someone else could have done on their own, but being able to help someone through that process just because I have, that understanding was a blessing.
Awesome. So I have a story. That this lady literally just closed on her house. I think she closed in February. She's fixing the house up right now to move in. She's moving from Brooklyn. She lives in Mill Basin here to Jackson, New Jersey. Big move. So she owns a daycare. And I'm looking at her taxes, 2-year taxes. She came to me mid last year. So this is something I'm working on for 6-7 months. She came to me mid last year. She gross, the accountant is right here. I'm not an accountant. If you're taking a loss for the last 3 years, this is not a business anymore. This is more like, this is a hobby. So she pretty much grossing over 100,000, and she's showing a loss. And she's been doing that, obviously to escape, the taxes, whatever it is. Gage could tell you more about it. But my point is, we came up with an action plan. Okay, her credit was decent at the time. We improved the credit a little bit because we had time. I can't do anything until next year when you actually file your real taxes. You understand? Because there's no way you're making 100K, and as a daycare, you have expenses. I don't know what the kids are eating. You have expenses over 100,000. So, and to make a long story short, she did file the taxes. She had to pay, close to $11,000 in taxes. But she's into her house and she's very happy with her daughter. So.
Well, I'm not gonna add anything to that. Good. And next question: are there any unique opportunities you guys provided to your clients?
Well, yeah, it's something that a lot of you guys might do, but one of the unique things I do is, since I know their financial background, I always tell them to do a budget. Like, especially the people that don't have a house. Like, that's like the action plan, like you were saying, is the trying to get them ready to get a house. And sometimes, like some people go, oh, I want to get a house next year. I look at them like, you know, like you look at their thing and you have to just be real. That's the one thing, like a lot of you guys, I know you're real estate agents, but sometimes you got to be real with these guys that want, and I know y'all don't want to waste your time. Sometimes you see somebody that makes $50,000 looking at a $700,000 house, and then they say, oh yeah, I think in the next year I could get that house, and you look and you're like, no, like you gotta, sometimes I don't like, because you know what happens? If you tell them yes, then they come to you, oh, he gave me bad advice. So I don't want to be the one that gave you the bad advice. So I'll tell you right there, no, it's not going to happen. You have to, I think the best thing I do is the budget. I did one for a person. I tell you exactly how much money you need. And it's almost like a way of showing them what's going to happen. Like, okay, now you're paying $1,200 rent. Now it's down to, it's $22. Like, well, oh yeah, I could afford that. Oh, then don't forget now your LIPA bill, your heat bill, it's higher. In the wintertime, it's going to be like $400 a month. Now you keep on giving them the breakdown of how real life is going to be. So that's one of the unique things I do and try to help them. And me and Sabine, we're still trying to do seminars on this and helping them through the whole process. So we're working on that, and that's one of the unique things I do, that real breakdown of, like, you know, very detailed of how everything's going to look like.
So for myself, I believe the unique part about me and my business is that, one, I'm personable, two, I'm accessible, and I do try to educate them on as much as I can. I try to walk them through the entire process so that they know what to expect, so that they could feel comfortable. One of the main concerns about attorneys, or complaints about attorneys, is that they're not responsive. They're not responsive, and the clients feel alone. And so I try to fill that gap and do that, and kind of paint the whole picture and make sure that the client knows exactly what to expect and that there are no surprises.
I think for me, it's a combination, right? It's well, first I want to talk about my back office, right? The team of underwriters that I have, the processors that I have, the people that support me. If I have a crisis where I need a deal to get done in a certain amount of time, it's gonna get done. If I have to sit down with 2-3 of us, between my branch manager and one of my head map processor, to come up with a solution for a Haitian client, we will do it. Not everybody, a Haitian client walk into Chase and say, hey, listen, I just got my SOL money. I need to put it down on the house. It's not getting done, and that's just what it is. And the other part, the other aspect, I think, is my patience. I'm in the car, with the kids, my wife. The phone is ringing, and Haitian always take you through this. They call you to tell you, listen, they did the appraisal, but they will take you to this whole story. The guy called my mother first, and my mother picked up, and I think that's part of it also, because I deal with my parents, and so I'm able to deal with I'm very patient. I listen, and like you say, you're a psychologist without going to school for it, pretty much. And I think that's part of my forte. So.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, after I'm done with the questions, anybody could ask questions as well. And so before I ask my last question, guys, so what can define you? How can you be reached?
How can I be reached?
Yeah.
Well, I could be reached. I have some cards in the back. I'm located in Hempstead, Long Island. I have a website. It's www.gagetax.com. You could call me. Oh yeah, Instagram. Yeah, I got social. Gage Tax, @GageTax. That's the only one on Instagram I have. I don't, I'm a busy man. I don't have time for Twitter and all that other good stuff. So yeah, you could reach me. We could talk. I'm always willing to, especially a lot of you guys with the real estate. I know a lot of you guys get commissions and all this stuff, and you're not paying taxes on it. So I already know. Yeah, I'm gonna blow it now. and then you guys want to get a house, and then you're gonna say, "Damn, Gage, how could I get this house?" You know. So I know the steps. I know everything that's going on. Try to cut corners, but it doesn't work. Yeah. So yeah, I'm accessible, having meetings and stuff like that. In the future, if you look at the Gage Tax at Instagram, seminars, education, that's the key. You guys, especially you guys, I think this thing, we should get more education here so we could do more education out. And one of the best places I think he mentioned is the church. Because that's where all those clients are. That's where they are. And that's the place where they trust. You know, that's the place where they trust. So if we filter into the church, you know, I think that's the best way to educate these people and get to, you know, it's just getting them to be comfortable. It's like, it's a challenge, but I think with you guys starting this is good. And if we all come together, put our heads together, we could make a difference, especially educating them, like learning. Like, I'm here, I'm waiting to learn from you guys too, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I need to know, because I want to do lots of seminars, helping people out, and then that's it. Yeah.
So I also have cards in the back. My office is also in Long Island and Hempstead. I do service Nassau, Queens, Brooklyn, even the Bronx. So you can reach me on Instagram at Sabine, SABINE _ The Purpose Lawyer. And you can reach me on my website at franco-lawfirm.com. And also just here to answer your questions, be a resource for you, be a resource for your clients. Even if they already have representation, I'm happy to help and walk them through, you know, help you through the process with your clients as well.
So I also have cards. They're not in the bag. They're right here in my pocket. I'm gonna hand it to you guys on the way out. I'm trying to be a little bit more active, social media. But like Gage said, I mean, my days are like, you know, I have full days. But my Instagram is Ralphie, RALPHY _ mortgages, and that's my Instagram. But I just want to say this is a good initiative because 16 years in the business, I've never had a deal where every single party professional that's in the deal is Haitian. The most I've had is a Haitian banker like myself and a realtor. And I've never had a Haitian lawyer. Well, now I know Sabine now. I've never had a title closer that's Haitian. And these people have to call me. Sometimes if I'm doing a refinance, the deal's not funding until 3 days. They could do it at any time. So it could be 10 p.m. at night. Somebody's calling me, listen, I'm reading this, Ralph, I don't understand because the closer doesn't speak Creole. So I just want to say, you don't have to be an attorney, you don't have to be an accountant, you don't have to be there's so many, you know, part of the business that you could tap in and be successful at. So it's a very good thing.
Yeah, so my last question, what impact do you guys want to have in the Asian community?
Just like I mentioned before, the education part, and I think is the budget. Like I just want people to understand budgeting is so important. I'm an accountant. I'm gonna tell you guys. This is why I tell you to be vulnerable. I'm an accountant, and I don't do my own budget. Guess who helped me with my budget? No, Sabine helped me with my budget because everybody's biased. I'm biased to myself, nothing. I told, okay, listen, I gotta do this. You know, you just gotta, that's what I'm saying. Everybody makes mistakes in life, everybody does. You just need that other person to tell you. We have to stop being so stubborn, like, oh, I know what I'm doing, I could pay this off this time. No, we just gotta sometimes have somebody we could trust and then just ask them, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because I don't do my own, and that's what I think everybody over here, I know you guys have your little budget, your little papers. No, go to somebody, go to a professional, you even have a friend just to look it over and like to be real with you and stuff like that. And that's what I want to bring into the community, the Haitian community. And I'm not into this soul thing. I don't know why they can't put their money in the bank every month, especially with the internet, the online banking. Just let it go in there, get some interest rate. You don't have to worry about somebody not paying off. You know, I'm not into that. But I just want to educate educate. That's the main thing.
Very good. Just to add on the budget, I know we have a few financial guy in the room, so if you guys can just introduce yourself to everybody, and that would be wonderful.
Yes, and I want to know them too, because like I said, you learn from them too.
So as far as impact, I just want us to share the wealth of information, especially because in our community there's different levels of kind of understanding of how the American system works, opportunities. Some families know what schools for their children to go to and what avenues to take and, things like that. So when it comes to financial literacy, I want us to share the wealth. I want to be able to open up those doors and provide an avenue for people to get educated on those things and kind of even the playing field. There's no reason why people should be struggling and have the same and not have access to the same opportunities just because they don't know. So I just want to be a part of helping bring that information, sharing whatever I know, helping to educate as well, and just being a resource, being of service to our community in any way that I can.
I mean, as far as the community is concerned, I just want to help as many as families as possible. So, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, I get so much joy from meeting somebody, maybe a family, a single mother and a single Haitian mother and his son, and her son, and they telling me straight off the bat, Ralph, we don't want to waste your time. There's nothing we could do. We're not buying a house. And 6-7 months later, their first home pretty much. And that's pretty much my goal. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and trying to impact as many families as possible.
We want to say thank you to our panelists for coming out tonight. We're gonna open up to Q&A, but before we do so, I want to give you guys 4 reasons why you need to service your community. Okay? We are underrepresented in all aspects of our lives. The picture that has created by media and historical outlets is nothing short of negative and degrading. Why not do something to uplift and show our people in a positive light? We can make influential change. Why not come together and do something to facilitate opportunities for future generations? Number 2, if we do not serve our communities, someone else will. One of the greatest reasons is simply because we need to protect what's ours. When something holds dear to you, you feel obligated to protect it at all costs. Why not help those in need by providing them with the information and equipping them with the knowledge necessary for success, such as governmental assistance programs, workshops, etc. And the last but not least, let's break the stereotype and do something positive, which in turn will benefit our communities. So we're going to open up to Q&A, all right? I want to start off with the first question. I know you were ready to go. With the understanding that tonight's discussion is about serving the Haitian community, from the mortgage perspective, are you seeing more buyers coming to you before or after finding a home? And the reason for asking that is, we grew up in a generation where we do consultation with buyers most of the time before showing them properties. The older generation believes you go out and you show them a property. Once they fall in love with it, then you take it to the mortgage side.
No.
What are you seeing nowadays?
I gotta say it's shifting, which is good, which is very good, and I'm happy to say that. Most of them are coming before they actually see in a house. They're getting to know that they need to know how much they could afford, if they could afford anything at all. So I want to say like most of them are coming before they find a house. Once in a while you find a guy that's telling you, listen, I know I could qualify, but I don't need your help now. I'll come back to you. But these are the people that are not willing to do anything anyway. But to answer your question, before they're coming in before now. Yeah.
Okay. You wanted to go? Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican, Haitian, so I'm here. This is my Haitian side. My name is Thomas Lopez Pierre, and that's where the Pierre comes from. You guys got one of these flyers. about the event I'm holding in June. So my question for the panel is that I've heard this evening you talk about helping the Haitian community, but there is a lot of real estate professionals in here, and I wanted to hear examples from you guys of how you helped the Haitian professionals understand that they have to not carry the water for other communities. And what I mean by that is they cannot be used by other communities to penetrate our communities and bring the dollars back to their community. That if you look at other communities, and I'll talk about a community that does it right, like Chinatown, they have like 6 or 7 banks. There should be a Haitian bank that provides mortgages for our community. So my question is, could you guys use examples where you have coalesced around people, Black and Hispanics, to do business with each other, because the dollar circulates not even once in our community. We pay our rent and the dollar's out of our community. And then in the Jewish community, it bounces 16 times. There is an example that we need to copy. We need to love and not hate. We need to love their example and bring it to our community. So if I could hear that, thank you so much.
Very good point. I think through home ownership, I mean, at least my contribution will be through home ownership, because the more we own land, because they're not making any more land, so that's gonna be very valuable, right? So the more we own real estate, and I can't stress it enough. The more you own real estate, the more you're gonna have more power, and you're able to keep your money, in your community, and that's the way I see it. Now, there's a lot, we have a lot of work to do. We have a long way to go, but I guess we need to get on the right track to start with. That's pretty much it.
There's one thing I do, and I think it's a very, very good idea, which I have one group already, and I believe there's a lot of us that, certain situations we're not making as much as other people, but the greatest thing to do is, like, if you have it, I always believe it is in the investment clubs, like the small investment clubs. Like, even if you're not in the right track of getting one property, at least if a lot of you join together, put your money together, and invest together, you could do it. Like, I set up a lot of these partnerships and stuff like that, and we go over. Like, sometimes it takes even a year. You need some patience, because you have to go through a lot of what if somebody dies? What's happening to the money? Where is it going? How are we going to diversify it? You get that with your Haitian. I have me and a couple of people. We have that ready. We haven't even bought anything or done anything. The money is just growing. You just have to be patient. We put some in some mutual funds, and we did that. And then our main goal is to get something, to buy something. We don't know what it is yet. But it's there to buy something. And I think that's an important aspect of, and it makes you feel good a little bit, because you're like, okay, we're in a strike, because like I always say, this is life. Not everybody's gonna be rich, not everybody's gonna be successful. If you find a way, there's always a way, and if you get out of that, and I think that's what's happening to our community. I think people put you down, so now you just stay down, and you just like, okay, yeah, and you accept it. We have to stop accepting that and just go forward and push a little and make it happen. Just make it happen, and just that little step, making it happen. And just imagine you just have a fraction of a share of a house. It's one thing, and then it could lead to another. It could lead. That's how. Let me tell you, if I could tell you all the businesses that's how they make their money. They have like 100, 200, 300 partners that has a little stake in somewhere, and then they have multiple places. That's how, as he was talking about the Chinese, that's how they do it. They have 7 people, one person's working, the other people come in, they buy, they invest in that Chinese food store or whatever. Once that guy does it, they take that money, go invest in another place, and they keep on going. Yeah. How many Chinese food restaurants have you seen close? Have you ever seen, like, literally, have you ever seen one close? No. There you go. There's something, they're doing something right. And like he said, we gotta copy some of these stuff they're doing, because it's really, really working. And like we said, like, invest. If you guys could, like, if you have a couple of you guys, you could do a real estate investment group that just put money together and then, think about, okay, listen, what can we do? What can we do for our community? It's simple. $10, $100, you know, best believe in the 2-3 years. It's not gonna happen now. And that's the thing with our community. We're not patient. You know, we're not we think it's supposed to happen like next year. No. Yeah. So, you know, if you become patient and understand with the education, I think it will work. And that's to somewhat answer your question.
No,
Yeah.
if you guys find that property, I will be your partner. I will help you with an equity.
There you go.
We only raise money from Black and Hispanic people, and we only invest it with Black and Hispanic real estate developers. That's how you build group economics.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Another thing that should come out of what the meeting here tonight is, there's too many of us in this business and in this room where, and the Haitian community, don't sleep on them. They have a lot of money, a lot of money. They own a lot in New York, in New Jersey, Miami, Long Island. They own. So we need to, like he said, with the Jewish community, we need to start doing business with each other. Because if I sell a home and I earn a commission, now I can send some back to my family in Haiti and help them. And I can buy something else and I can do something else. But sometimes a lot of us, we feel more comfortable doing business with people that don't look like us. And so that's something that we really need to really think about, talk about. It's the elephant in the room and nobody's talking about it. And so there's too many of us in here, and I know too many people that own homes and they're selling and the broker doesn't look like me. And then they go, oh, I should have lived on Kyla. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, what? Oh, Von Kyla. I'm like, you didn't, what was that sound fair?
You know, just back to that point, if I may, so I think that one thing that we could possibly think about doing is having a maybe social media group that is like a private Facebook page or whatever, that we actually give each other referrals, right?
Right.
Be it mortgage brokers, be it other agents, be it whatever. And I think that would be something that would be helpful because, and also, if it is to our advantage to bring another Haitian agent along with us, if we're going to a particular listing, you besoin de two Haitiens, and we come in, you know, like an army to say we've got you.
And that's, I think we really, I think that's something that that must come out of this meeting, is that l'on haïtien va non caille, on haïtien supposé van caille. I'm just with that.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's go back to Q&A. Let's go back to Q&A. Definitely. Okay, so does anybody else have a question? Right?
Good evening, everyone. One of the things that a few things that I realized that have been talked about. There's different points that our community is struggling with that in terms of budgeting, like you mentioned, right? I'm a financial representative. I'm a registered representative, and I'm a soon-to-be investment advisor. So we talk about credit, education, law advice, and also investment strategies. Now, what do you guys think that we can do as professionals to not only educate ourselves but also implement strategies? Because at the end of the day, I believe it comes down to implementing strategies, and I don't believe in selling products. It's more into implementing strategies. What do you guys think that we can do?
I think, Sabine, how long have we been trying to do this seminar? Like we've been trying to figure out a way, and the thing is, to do a seminar, we need more people. We need, I can't do a seminar not knowing everything, and that's why I haven't been feeling comfortable about doing it, because there's a lot of different techniques, and then somebody's gonna look at me, oh, but what about this? There's something I don't know. There's some stuff she knows, and then in this room, I'm already thinking, I'm like, okay, good, I could get this. I was talking to somebody else about, oh yeah, maybe if I could get this person, so we could understand and formulate something. But the way it is just through education and seminars. That's how we get it. And you have to be serious about these seminars. It's not like just going. It's like, okay, what can we do? And then have one of these venting sessions that they were just having right now, because that's what you need. No, you need it. That's what helps you. that's what helps, because I deal with this venting thing all the time. Oh, I don't have money, all of this, but it's good because after they done, they feel better. It's especially like the budgeting. I'm telling you, the budgeting, people feel so much better once they see, because people, it's like you said, the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it, but when it's out, they're like, oh, yes, we finally got there.
I would say, collaborating with one another, like was mentioned. Each of us has something different to offer, and we need to break down the stigma that we're competing with each other. There's enough for all of us. There's like hundreds of black attorneys, there's hundreds of agents, we each have something unique to offer, and there's enough for all of us. God will provide everything that we need. So I think, we need to bring down that barrier, stop being afraid of one another, stop, feeling like, we're competing with one another. Just take that away, so that we could work together, and then we could learn from each other, and we could each be that much more empowered.
Very good. And I think, she's right, and also information sharing. And like the young lady just said, we should have a platform where we could give each other referrals. There's no reason why if I have a deal and I have a Haitian-speaking buyer, and it's hard for me to find somebody in New Jersey to give it to. We should have a platform where we could all share referrals and we could all share information. If something comes out, I have an investor that's doing a certain type of deals that I know is not common, I could post it so everybody could use it. You know what I mean? I could post it so everybody could use it, because I'm not getting all those deals that fit that criteria. I'm not gonna be able to do them. I'm only one guy. So like Sabin just said, there's enough for everybody. And I think that's something we should work on. A platform where we all could share information, we all can come together.
Okay, we got room for two more questions. Can you come closer? Can you come closer?
I'm not Haitian, but I'm from the Caribbean. And one of my friends invited me. And I love what I'm hearing here because I'm a member of the Asian Real Estate Association. And I've learned so much from them. And one of the most important things I can say here is education and establishment of trust, because that's what I see in the organization that they have, and I try all the time to bring it back to my community. And we fight that trust issue so much, and we have to start breaking that barrier. But they continually and consistently educate each other. So I think that would be a great place to start.
Good evening, everyone. My questions was, usually people, mostly Haitians, when they want to buy a house, they want to go with the biggest house they can have. And after that, they go home poor or something, because they just work to pay that house and everything, nothing else can be done. Did you give some advice or tell them what to do, how much house they can afford? And also, that's the questions. And also, I have a suggestion. Can you guys start invade YouTube or Facebook with video of I can say information for Creole information for everyone that can understand, so they can understand real estate better. I started to educate myself about real estate 6 months ago, and I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos, but I couldn't find one of them that is a Creole or anything that speaks to my language. So can you do something about that? That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. But when he was talking about the home poor, that's what I've been stressing about all day, about the budgeting. Is the budget. You have to, yeah. Oh, wow. The worst thing to do is to buy a house and then you're working 14 hours a day and you're not even living in it. It makes no sense at all. So, and it's stressful. Then I'm telling you, that you work hard, You get mad at your spouse, you get divorced, now you got no money, now you got to sell the house. That's the typical thing that usually is happening with all these people nowadays. So yeah, the budgeting and that's a good idea about the YouTube.
Can you have them talk about opportunity zones? That's one thing that wasn't talked about. You guys can talk about opportunity zones that are coming to our community that are going to push out many of us if we don't participate. So you guys can talk about that another time.
So the suggestion that he made is very good. You're right. There's a lot of educational videos, and they're all in English, even though they were made by Haitians. So that's something I'm gonna take a point on, and I'm gonna maybe apply myself and get a few videos out on my on my Instagram or Facebook or so. Also, to answer your question, I'll give you a quick synopsis of like maybe my conversation when I'm pre-qualifying a Haitian buyer. Okay, so I usually go over everything with them, right, and explain to them what how they qualify for a mortgage. So with the payment that they qualify for, I usually tell them, listen, this is what you qualify for on paper. Okay, but I know you Haitian, so I know you have a cousin in Haiti that you're sending maybe $100 a month to because they have to eat or they're not working or anything like that. So you qualify for, let's say, $2,500 on paper, but you tell me exactly how much you're comfortable paying, because I don't want to put you in a home and, like the gentleman just said here, Gage just said, and you're literally working extra just to pay for the house and you can't do anything else. So even though you qualify, your ratios work on paper, but you may have other things that are not on paper that I'm not seeing and I have no knowledge of and I have no way of knowing that you need to tell me about, so you could tell me exactly what kind of payment, you're pretty much comfortable with. And, that's pretty much it. That's how I try, that's the way I try to avoid that situation for them.
I want to say thank you to our panelists for this evening. Give them a round of applause. Since we are mainly realtors, we are realtors that came together and started this, I want Gage to kind of give us an idea in regards to paying taxes as a business professional, right? Would you give us an idea or advice on, should we pay our taxes during tax season or quarterly or throughout the year?
Well,
what would you say about that?
No, you have to do it quarterly, because if you don't do it quarterly, you get penalized. No matter what. People thinking, okay, April comes, I supposed to pay it. No, you have to pay it quarterly. So let's say from you missed the deadline. It was April 15th, that's the first deadline. So suppose you made $30,000, and that'll be good for commissions for the quarter. So now you have to that's what the accountants do. That's why when the people say, what do we do after tax season? After April 15th, this is what we do. It's like always planning, always figuring out how much you have to pay. And I think it's important, for me, I think it's so important that people have to understand different ways, structuring LLCs, S-Corps, and stuff like that in order to pay themselves. Because I know you guys, some of these mortgage, like the best thing is a pay stub. Once you get the pay stub, it's much easier than asking the business for a financial statement, has to write a letter and all that stuff. So, those are the planning aspects of things. And I think realtors, you guys could help accountants and help you guys out yourself saying, okay, this is what you need. And that's why I like educating. That's why I'm happy I'm here, because it's another side. And me, I'm glad I'm here because I see the other side of, what I need to do. And how to educate, and you guys can educate me. So the taxes thing is very, you guys got to be careful, and then if you want to buy something, you got to, it's planning. It's all about planning.
Guys, we want to thank Cache for having us this evening, right? They have opened their doors for us only tonight. I want to bring up Yadli, who's a partner here, for 2 minutes just to talk about his vision with Cache. And again, Tuesdays they're normally closed, but they opened the doors for us tonight. We want to thank them for that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the panel. welcome everybody to Cache Restaurant. My name is Hadley Benoit. I'm one of the owners here. I'd like to start off by congratulating Robertson, Tony, and Jean Paul for taking this initiative and creating this organization. I'm a realtor, educator, and now a restaurateur. And I feel that as professionals, we have a particular responsibility to uplift our community and set examples for, the generations that come behind us. And this that you're doing here, I think, addresses all those objectives. And I think you guys really need a big round of applause for taking that step. And we're honored, and I really appreciate you having that event here for the first time. Let me talk about the restaurant. I mean, this is we have a full service, 150 seat restaurant here. We have a Haitian American, somewhat of a fusion menu. We wanted to do something a little different. We wanted to incorporate everybody because we talk about Haitian, but I know a lot of Haitian people that are mixed marriages, interracial marriages. So Haitian nowadays is not just Haitian, right? So we fully integrated ourselves into this melting pot of America. So I think we wanted to put something out that kind of represents that a little bit more than the traditional stuff that's out there. I mean, we're open from Tuesday through Sunday, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Where we're open for off-site catering. We're open for private dinner parties, private meetings such as this, and it's just a pleasure to have you guys here and hope to see some faces here again. All right, thank you.
Thank you for that. Guys, we want to bring great content to you guys. So we're meeting every quarter, and we hope our next event that you guys would be able to support us as well. We want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. You guys have been a wonderful crew. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up tonight. Thank you guys. You guys have some paperwork that you guys got to fill out throughout the evening. Before you leave, just make sure you give it to the wonderful Ferline in the back. Just make sure you do so in order for you to be part of the raffle to win a $100 gift card. And that person, whoever's the winner, will call you back. We'll actually invite you back to Cache for dinner. You're going to pay for it. And we'll take it from there. So our next event will send you an invite as well. And we hope to have the same, if not more, show up. Thank you again for coming. You guys have a great evening. Thank you.